What is Canadian Experience Class Program? The Canadian Experience Class Program is a federal immigration program that is designed to allow temporary foreign workers and international graduates who have work experience in Canada to become permanent residents. This program is ideal for individuals who have already adapted to life in Canada and have the necessary language proficiency and work experience to contribute to the Canadian economy. What are the minimum requirements for Canada Experience Class Program? To be eligible for the CEC program, applicants must have at least 1 year of skilled work experience in Canada within the last 3 years. They must also meet the minimum language requirements in English or French and have obtained their work experience legally in Canada. In this video, we will discuss the eligibility requirements for the CEC program in detail. Let's talk about the language proficiency requirements for the CEC program. Language proficiency is a crucial eligibility requirement for the Canadian Experience Class program. Applicants must take an approved language test and achieve the minimum required score in either English or French. The language test results must not be older than 2 years from the date of application. The Government of Canada accepts several approved language tests for the CEC program that includes the IELTS and CELPIP for English and TEF for French. An applicant would need a minimum language score of CLB 7 for Tier 0 or Tier 1 jobs, or a CLB 5 score for Tier 2 or Tier 3 jobs. Now let's talk about the work experience requirement for the CEC program. One of the main eligibility requirements for the Canadian Experience Class program is work experience. Applicants must have gained at least 1 year of skilled work experience in Canada within the 3 years preceding their application. The work experience must be in a skilled occupation, which means work experience should be in Tier 0, 1, 2, or 3 job categories. These are typically managerial, professional, or technical occupations that require a certain level of education and training. The work experience can be in one or more of these categories. The work experience must be continuous, which means that there should not be any gaps in the work history, and the applicant should have worked full-time or part-time for at least 1560 hours, that is 30 hours per week in a skilled occupation. If the applicant worked part-time, their work experience will be assessed based on the number of hours worked. For example, if an applicant worked 15 hours per week, they must have worked for at least 2 years to meet the 1 year work experience requirement. You can work as many part-time jobs as you need to meet this requirement. Unpaid work experience, such as volunteer work or internships, does not count towards the work experience requirement for the CEC program. Self-employment and work experience gained while the applicant was a full-time student, even if it was a co-op work term, do not count towards the minimum requirements for CEC program. It is to be noted that the work experience must have been obtained through a valid work permit or other legal authorization to work in Canada. Working without valid authorization, such as working as a visitor or student without a work permit, does not qualify as eligible work experience for the CEC program. So what are the education requirements for CEC program? One of the unique features of the Canadian Experience Class program is that it does not have a formal education requirement. While applicants with post-secondary education may have an advantage, it is not a mandatory requirement to be eligible for the CEC program. Having said that, having a higher level of education may provide a competitive advantage when applying for permanent residency or seeking employment opportunities in Canada. What is the application process to apply for CEC program? The CEC program is an online application process, and applicants must create an express entry profile. The profile includes information such as work experience, language proficiency, education, and other factors that determine eligibility. Applicants are then assigned a comprehensive ranking system score, which is also known as CRS, based on their profile information, and the highest ranking candidates are invited to apply for permanent residence. Read this full article about CEC eligibility requirements on canadaneo.com. All links are available in description. Comment if you have any questions and suggestions. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Please like, share and subscribe.